Okay, part two of week one. So this is still August 15th to 22nd. It just took us a lot longer to, kind of share everything that happened on Saturday. So this will be like the rest of the week. Um, so Sunday, a little bit of backstory maybe. Me and Rachel have had some challenges with the church we were going to, and so we'd stopped going. And we've been kind of in a limbo stage of like where we're going to go to church, where our church home is,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of wanting to reconcile with the church that we were a part of, but also maybe looking at finding somewhere else if the Lord calls us. And we've tried a bunch of churches. None of them bad, I don't think, but none of them have really felt like home. But Wednesday this week, I was talking to a friend and I gave them some advice, and I kind of ended up giving myself advice, and the advice kind of was like he was in a situation where things have kind of settled, but he wasn't sure if he should like bring everything like back up again and like maybe open more wounds to like settle it even further. And I kind of told him, I was like, like if the situation's like calm right now, like maybe just let it be calm, and potentially the Lord will like bring up an opportunity in a week or in a month or in a year, where you can like kind of finish and maybe settle things down more. But like if things have kind of already settled, maybe just like let them be, and there's no need to like stir the pot more. And I was telling him this, and I like kind of thought for myself, I was like, woof, like we've kind of been in limbo stage, like as far as going to a church for a while, like maybe that's good advice. Maybe instead of like trying to figure out exactly if reconciliation is possible, we should just go somewhere else. And then if reconciliation pops up being possible later, uh, then we can go back to that, but have something in the meantime.
Mm-hmm.
And so I called Rachel Wednesday morning. It was right before work. We did like a pre-morning Bible study, and I just told Rachel, I was like, like why don't we just go to this like Northgate Baptist Church? Some friends of ours lead the worship there, and we'd been there once before, and it seemed like a decent church. And so we kind of like why don't? Or I kind of told Rachel, I was like, like why don't we decide to just go there? And Rachel seemed pretty happy with that.
I was excited that, like, oh, making a decision. Yes, I was very excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normally, I'm very decisive with decision making, but the church's thing has been a lot tougher,
It's a
but
little different, yeah.
not the decision. Um, and so Sunday we went to this Northgate Baptist Church, and I think our intentions, like in the morning, was like we were gonna go there and we were gonna like talk to the pastors and like I don't know about sign up to be members, but we were planning on like being committed going to that church. And we're sitting in service, and I grabbed one of their connection cards and I filled it out, gave them all of our information, and then there's a section on the back to like, what do you want to hear from, or what do you want emails for, and I checked every box because that's something I do.
All or nothing.
Yeah. And I'm holding this connection card, and like they this time for offerings, and they were like, put the connection card in the offering if you have to, and we sat in the very front, and so there was no one in the first like four rows other than us, for the most part, and so offering never made it up as far as we were sitting. And so I like kind of was holding this card like throughout the whole service, and we sat through the service, and the music was good, the speaker was good, but just the longer we sat there, I was just holding this card, and I was like, this just doesn't feel right. Like it doesn't feel like home. It doesn't feel like the Lord wants us here. I think every time the Lord has wanted us somewhere, He's made it like abundantly clear, and it didn't feel clear. It didn't feel like that's where the Lord wanted us. And so at the end of the service, I like turned to Rachel and I was like, I don't know. I was like, this doesn't feel right. Like, it doesn't feel like home. And
I knew he was right too, but just like something in my flesh was just like, I just wanted to find a home church and just like have that church community, so to speak. So like hearing that was like kind of devastating, but at the same time, like I knew deep down, like this wasn't our home church. I did know that.
yeah, so after church, me and Rachel talked a little bit about like what would our home church look like? Like, why have we not found one that felt right? And one of the things that I brought up is when we were looking at moving just a month ago, we looked at a house in Edmonton that was like bigger and cheaper, and we like looked about like moving there. But I just told Rachel, I was like I don't feel comfortable with that. Like I don't think the Lord wants us in Edmonton. I think He wants us here in Sherwood Park, and so I'm going to stay here until the Lord makes it abundantly clear that He wants us somewhere else. And I was like, wow, we visited like a bunch of churches, but we haven't visited almost any churches in Sherwood Park. Like if the Lord wants us to live here, He probably wants us to be involved in our community here.
Which I didn't even realize that until you mentioned that. Like almost all the churches we visited have been in Edmonton for some reason. Just been, I think we visited maybe like one in Sherwood Park, but yeah. Like we've done like 3 or 4 in Edmonton. Yeah.
Yeah, which was a little silly, I think. So, so we spent a good section of that day. I made some awesome guacamole, just thought I'd throw that in there. And then Rachel spent like a good section kind of making a long list of potential churches that we could try in Sherwood Park, that we could go through. Obviously just kind of canceling like a few churches that we don't think would be a good fit, just from like looking at their website.
Yep.
And you found, 14 churches?
About 11.
11?
Yeah. There are some churches I found, but they didn't have, like, their service time or, like, exactly where they met. Because, like, this Google Maps had location anyways, but, like, it wasn't super clear where they were, so I just had, like, the official, like, this is where they are, this is the service times, and it made up to a list of, like, 11. Just a lot of churches.
Yeah, and so we had like 11 churches that we were kind of discussing about, like, where we go, what we try. Yeah. I think we prayed about it too. And it was during this time that we were like discussing it, that Rachel got a Starbucks gift card from her dad. And I, being very irresponsible, was like, oh, like I like Starbucks, let's go.
Impromptu Starbucks date
and
night.
So, yes, when we probably should have been talking about what church we should go to, I was like, let's get Starbucks instead. And so we drove and we got some coffee, and we were right by Walmart, and so we wanted to stop in Walmart just to pick up some soup, because we didn't have any soup on hand. And we pull in to the Walmart parking lot, and we bump into James Avery, who is the pastor at Bethel Church in Sherwood Park, the church that we had kind of been wanting to reconcile stuff with. And we talked in the parking lot with him for 45 minutes at least.
Yeah.
Like it was pushing an hour. I don't know if it was quite more than an hour, but
his poor wife waiting at home for him to come back with a jug of milk and stuff.
he went in like just to get apples, or like it was like 2 things that he came in to get. So if Tamara, if you're watching this, we apologize. But no, so we had like really good conversation with him, and kind of talking about like the summer and like how the church has been doing, like kind of without us, and like what's been going on there, and how he's been doing.
Different things going on in our lives.
Yeah, and he's kind of asking us about like what's going on for us, and like definitely some good, definitely some bad, I guess. And yeah, towards the end of the conversation, he kind of just like he hugged me, and he's like you need to come back, like come home. And it was a really long hug. He hugged Rachel too, and said the same thing. And like he said he needed us to come back. He's like come back, like come home. He said it a number of times. And yeah, it was quite something.
Yeah.
Right after that conversation, we like started walking in the grocery store, and Rachel was like, "You don't bump into James Avery at Walmart, like."
That's no coincidence.
No,
like, like that didn't happen by coincidence. Just like thinking about the day that we had, thinking about different churches to go to and what that looked like, and then we bumped into James Avery. It's like, I don't know. So there's something to that, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was really cool. So I set up a meeting with him on Wednesday.
Wednesday this week, yeah.
Yeah, and
like 3 days ago Wednesday.
Yeah, and so we'll get to that in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And so Sunday evening, we kind of talked about a bit about that, and it was like, like maybe the Lord is is calling us back to Bethel. We'll have to like see what happens there.
Pray on it for sure. Yeah.
Okay, and then Monday rolls around.
Bible study day.
Bible study day. Bible study day is such a good day. I love Mondays. Bible study this Monday was awesome. So Pierce, who we have been trying to get out to Bible study for the last ever.
Ever since we started, even before we started, we tried to get him out to Bible studies.
Yeah, before we started this particular, before we started Monday Bible studies, we were trying to get him out to the Tuesday one. So we've been, this is like 4 months of trying to get him out.
Yeah.
And so he came. He was here. He was here for like 15 minutes.
But he came. That's something.
He showed up. He showed up like right before we started, and then he left like maybe 15, 20 minutes into it. So it was awesome that he came out. He got to see our new house. But no, he wasn't able to stay for much of it. However, we did have Hajar.
Yeah, a girl that I met street preaching about a month ago. And yeah, she wanted to come out to Bible study, about a month ago. Something came up, and she was under the impression that it was a one-time thing. And then she bumped into Roy this past Saturday, and I don't know if you asked her about it or if she asked you about it. And then, Roy came home that night and told me to text her the details, and she came out, which was very encouraging. She shared her testimony, which was beautiful. Like, just I don't want to spoil it, but she just has a beautiful testimony that was very encouraging to me personally, at least, and I hope it was to everyone else there too. So it was cool to have someone new join our Bible study, because it's normally just like the 6, 7 of us consistently.
7 regularly.
Yeah.
And so it sounded like she enjoyed it, was encouraged by it, which was really cool, because she is a quieter person, and so I was a little worried that we were just going to talk over her.
Yeah, be overpowering.
But at the end of it, we asked her if she enjoyed it. She said yes, and someone asked her if she was coming back next Monday, and she said that she hoped so. So I'm really hoping that we get to see her again Monday. I think it was really cool having her here.
Yeah, me too.
Other than that, Bible study went really good. We read Romans chapter 12.
Never enough time to talk about everything.
No, there never is.
No matter what chapter.
Which was, I think we spent like most of the time talking about purity culture, which was hilarious, because I did not foresee that's what we would be talking about in Romans 12. It
happen a lot in our Bible study. We just get on a tangent about something that's related to something that ends up being non-related.
But it was a really good conversation.
Oh yeah.
I think. No, I don't know if we do the best job as a Bible study, like specifically talking about what we read, but we're just so blessed that the Spirit
leads the conversation.
There's just so much, like it's always around Christ, and like people in our Bible study just have such great intentions to follow Jesus, that the conversation is always centered around like how we're following the Lord and how we can follow Him better. And I'm just so encouraging. We rarely ever have rabbit trails that I find are not profitable. So we talked a bit about that, and we also talked about some spiritual gifts, which was interesting.
That's very related to the chapter for sure.
Yeah. We talked a bit about prophecy, which was interesting. We kind of have like an on split in the group on like what our views on that are.
Which is good. It's good to have different points of views amongst the group.
Yeah, I think there are people in particular that I think are probably too far on like either side. And so, hopefully over time as a group we can find like the middle where the Lord wants us. I think there is. I think there is somewhere where the Lord wants us, kind of in between some of those drastic points of views, and so definitely pray that we come to kind of understanding on that. The Spirit would kind of reveal stuff to, those who need to be revealed, and hopefully kind of both sides of the scale can encourage each other, like closer to each other. Like I don't know, I think we find a good balance of the concerns on both sides, because I think there are good concerns on both sides.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Lord can work through that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
That's pretty much in the Bible study. I don't know if there's anything else talked about that was of note.
No, I don't know if there's anything else that was super noteworthy. For Bible study, anything drastic that happened.
Mm.
So that leads us to Tuesday. I don't remember what happened on Tuesday. Rachel?
No, I'm drawing a blank. We had football that evening. When it's in the middle of the week and like if I don't have work, it just kind of blurs. Yeah, no, drawing a blank. I don't think, obviously nothing super mentionable. Yeah, football that evening.
Wednesday was a big day though. So Wednesday morning, I had mentioned before that I had a meeting with James Irby, pastor at Bethel. And so I woke up pretty early, just after 4, to go to that meeting.
That's the only time that works for him, and that works for Roy too to get together.
And it was an early morning.
It's what it is.
Slightly earlier than normal. I didn't have time to do any of my reading because I met with him instead.
Anything before the sun is up is too early. It's so early.
For some people.
Anyways.
But that meeting with him went really well. He kind of asked us. We talked a lot about just life and what was going on, and then we kind of talked about like us coming back to Bethel, if that's something that we felt called to do, and then what that would look like. And I just kind of expressed some concerns about like why we originally left, and like wow, like how can we keep this from happening in the future. And it seemed like we were like really on the same page about everything, which was super cool.
Yeah.
I got to talk about. We talked a little bit about baptism and infant baptism, which I think we have different views on for sure.
Which is okay.
No, yeah, not a problem. It's very interesting to hear what he thinks and why he thinks it.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very smart guy, much smarter than me. But so super cool meeting Wednesday, and then that meeting ran a little long, so I was a bit late to work on Wednesday. And our workday Wednesday was kind of weird. We're doing a little bit on some house, we're waiting on some answers, and then there was a different house that we had to go and fix. And so it was a kind of a slower day. I think we had an extra break in that day, and we were driving to the other house, and me and Caleb, we had a bunch of conversations about kind of baptism throughout the day, because I talked to James Avery about infant baptism, and I was kind of sharing how that conversation went and this, that, and the other thing. And so me and Caleb, we talked a lot about infant baptism and what we thought about that, kind of where the difference of opinion is and why that is. And we were working at the other house, and the other guy we were working with that day was Connor. No one else came in, and I at some point we were kind of finishing up installing a stair, and I just asked him. I was like, what do you think about infant baptism? And he started sharing what he thought, and then we got sidetracked, and something else came up, and we talked about something else for a bit, and then I was like, you never mentioned what you thought about infant baptism. And then he kind of started sharing again, and then we got sidetracked again, and started talking about something else. And then 20 minutes later, once again, I was like, oh right, infant baptism, we never got to that. And it ended up being this ongoing joke throughout the day, because every time I brought it up again, a minute later the topic would totally change, and we never got to hear his thoughts. And so eventually we finished all the stuff in this house, we got in the car, and then I brought it up again, and I was like, we never got to this, Connor, thoughts on infant baptism. And we all kind of laughed, because it was the 5th time that I brought it up. And so this time he kind of started sharing what he thought, and kind of what he thought the meaning of baptism was. And he as he was talking, he kind of mentioned when I get baptized, this is what I kind of hope it'll be like kind of giving myself to the Lord, or however he said it. And I was like, whoa, I was like, Connor, you're not baptized? And not like I was super concerned about him. It just more caught me off guard. Like I just didn't anticipate that. I definitely thought Connor was baptized. He seems to take the Lord like quite seriously in his life, and he's like, oh no, like I'm not baptized. And I just kind of asked him. I was like, oh, like, well, like, why not? Like, is there a reason for it? And he didn't really have a reason for it. He's like his wife was thinking about getting baptized again, because she did get baptized earlier on in her life, but she was somewhat forced into it. And so him and his wife had kind of talked a little bit about maybe doing it like together, and like when she gets rebaptized. And so and I just told him, I was like, well, like, it says in like Acts 2, like pretty clearly, like Peter says to people, he's like repent, like believe, and be baptized. And I told him, I was like, I think those things like come hand in hand, and I think like if you'd repent and turn to God, I think if you believe in God, then I think you should be baptized. I think, I think those things just follow each other. And we're in the car, and I kind of mentioned that, and he's like like I don't know, like I think my wife should be there, and he's like I appreciate you saying this, and I just told him, I was like, you know what, like I've got a bathtub like 20 minutes away. I told you, I told him, I was like, we can put the tools away, we can go to my house, like I can baptize you within 20 minutes, like no problem. And I told him, I was like you don't have to, but if this is something the Lord wants you to do, like don't wait, like do it now. And all of a sudden, like his tone changed, and he went from like being really hesitant to he's like okay, I gotta do this. And I was like, all right. And like I turned to Caleb, and I was like, hey, I guess we're putting tools away. And so we went back to site, and we like started putting all the tools away. And I like kind of asked Caleb as we were putting the tools away, I was like I hope you're okay with this. Like I didn't want to overrule us not working, but like I think this is important. And Caleb agreed. He's like if there ever was a reason to skip work, like this is the reason, which is good on Caleb for that.
So spiritual.
Yeah. And yeah, so I called Rachel, and I was like make sure there's nothing in her bathtub, kind of thing.
Prep the bathroom.
Yeah.
Connor's getting baptized.
Yeah, I was like find an extra towel, like we're on the way. And so we came to my house, started filling up the bathtub, and it was awesome. I'll post the video of me baptizing Connor.
With his permission, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll ask Connor if that's okay.
Yeah.
But hopefully we can post that. And it was really cool. So after I baptized him, he came out, and he sat down, and I was like how do you feel? And he's like obedient or something like that. And
cute. That's awesome.
And apparently, when I was in the car and I told him I was like this is something the Lord calls you to do, like I have a tub, like within 20 minutes we baptized. Apparently, Hunter had almost he had like a word for word conversation with him like a week ago. And apparently in that conversation he had with Hunter, he felt like convicted that he should get baptized, but he kind of like brushed it off because he like wanted to wait with his wife, and he was unsure about a thing or two. But he said when I was saying that, he said that it was like how I said it was word for word the exact same thing that Hunter had said to him a week before.
So the Holy Spirit spoke through Hunter and then spoke through you.
And I thought that was just so cool. And so he was telling me and Caleb, he's like if I shot down and like it took the Holy Spirit like 3 times, he's like I would have felt really stupid about that. And so it was just awesome. It was cool. It was the first time I'd ever baptized someone, which was like really cool for me.
At the end of the video, you're like, best work day ever, or something like that.
Yeah, it was a great day. I am percentage wise, I'm like infinitely closer to baptizing 1,000 people than I was
before Wednesday.
Oh, I don't know if that's like the bar, but just throwing it out there, I'm like making some serious ground.
One by one.
Yeah. But no, it's like such an encouraging day.
Very good.
Yeah. Do you have anything you want to share about Wednesday?
I had while you were baptizing Connor, I had a walk with Donna, who was at the barbecue, and this is the lady who I talked to Saturday about church, and she expressed interest in Bible study. So yeah, it was just me and her on the walk, and her little dog, and yeah, we had good talks. She was telling me more about her thoughts on church and how she really wants to come to Bible study and bring a friend. So it was really encouraging. So I'm hoping she comes out. I think that would be. And she didn't seem too scared of the fact that she might be the oldest one there by like 30 years, but she actually seemed kind of excited about that. So.
Well, not by that much. Like Sean is.
She's in her 70s.
Oh, okay, maybe then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Sean.
It's 40.
Is Sean 40?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. She seems like a cool, sweet lady. So, yeah, it's very encouraging to walk with her. And then, yeah, that was it for Wednesday. Was there anything from football or just normal practice from football?
Oh, that's everything I've got for Wednesday.
Wednesday night, we took Roy's sister Aaliyah home with us for sleepover. It's something I've been wanting to try to do more often, is have at least one of Roy's siblings over for a sleepover at least once a week. And since we've moved into a more suitable house for having people stay over, I thought why wait any longer and just do that. So yeah, had Aaliyah over for the day, and she was up bright and early at 7, so we ran some errands together, and she helped me weed our garden, so we have it ready for next year to hopefully plant some things of our own, which would be cool. She's a very fast weeder. It was very fun to see. Then what else did we do after weeding? I think we had lunch. We went on a walk, and yeah, I think she had a good time. I hope she had fun. Hope she was encouraged by the day. She's cute. Yeah, then that was Thursday. That we brought her back for football. That whole day was so windy. It's just weather-wise, it was not a great day, but the day itself was very good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know if you have anything from Thursday. It's a windy day. You said, you were very sore when you came home from work Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday was a tough work day. It was a very, very, very physically demanding day on Thursday.
Yeah, well, yesterday.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Cool thing regarding work is we've got one of our employees, Shawnee. He's going back to Ireland. He was really trying, like pushing hard to be a permanent resident here in Canada, but there's just been some complications with him getting that. And so, unfortunately, he has to go back before September 9th. And so, we're planning to do kind of a camping trip, all the guys from work, as like a last hurrah to like spend some time with him before he goes, because we've worked with him for over 2 years now. And yeah, there was kind of some difficulties between like when we were going to finish up stuff on this house and like when we were going to start the next house and if we'd have time. And so there was like a big push that we'd like needed to finish this house by the end of this week. And I think it was on like Wednesday we were talking and we were like, there is no chance, like not a hope that we're going to finish this house by the end of by today, Friday. And like I tell you, like no joke, today we were done, like everything we could possibly do at like 2 o'clock. So yeah, we actually ended up going home early today. I think there's like one thing left on the house, but we're waiting on material for that. And so like a custom order thing, so it won't be ready for quite some time. So really cool that we were like kind of panicked and we were like, "Woof, we got to push this camping trip like a whole bunch. We won't have time for it." To now, it's like, oh, like we're ready. Like we were like we were thinking like this couldn't happen, and we prayed and we're like, Lord, like at least give us a little bit of time to do this. And like the Lord came through somehow. I don't know how it worked out, how it did.